Majestic view of the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, sunset lighting, grand Ottoman architecture, cinematic wide-angle, interior of an Ottoman harem palace room, elegant carpets, ornate walls, royal curtains, women in traditional 16th century Ottoman clothing, a powerful Ottoman queen mother sitting on a golden throne, dressed in luxurious 16th century robes, crown and jewelry, HürremSultan in royal Ottoman attire, holding documents, surrounded by advisors, Ottoman palace interior, soft warm lighting, historical accuracy, realistic portrait style. Women in Ottoman palace training room, studying books, learning diplomacy, writing letters, discussing strategy, traditional Ottoman decor, cinematic focus on faces, historical setting. Contrast scene, exotic imagined harem fantasy versus real Ottoman harem, side by side, realistic women in historical clothing, palace interior with ornate architecture, cinematic lighting. Portrait style montage of HürremSultan, KösemSultan, and Valide Sultan, soft golden light, Ottoman palace in background. Wide exterior of Topkapi Palace at sunset, golden light reflecting off palace walls, calm and majestic atmosphere, cinematic wide angle.
For centuries, the Ottoman Empire stretched across 3 continents, a titan of military might and economic power. But what if I told you that behind the grand spectacles of sultans and armies, the empire's fate was often decided within the secretive walls of the Imperial Harem? Forget the myths of a luxurious prison. The harem was the empire's true political heart, a school of statecraft, and a ladder to unimaginable power for the women who lived there. These weren't just concubines. They were queen mothers, princesses, and master strategists who advised sultans, controlled vast fortunes, and commanded the respect of ambassadors and viziers. They navigated a world of deadly intrigue to not only survive, but to rule from the shadows, shaping a dynasty that lasted 600 years. Join us as we pull back the curtain on the real story of the Ottoman harem. Don't forget to like, harem, subscribe for more. Comes to mind. For many, it's a fantasy of luxury and pleasure, but the reality of the Ottoman Imperial Harem was something else entirely. It wasn't just a place for the Sultan's personal life. It was a complex, highly organized institution. This was the home of the Sultan's mother, his wives, children, and concubines. But it was also a center of power and education. Women here weren't just idle. They were trained in arts, languages, and even diplomacy. They learned to navigate the intricate world of palace politics, forming alliances and influencing decisions that shaped the entire empire. The harem was a political battleground and a school for power, where ambitious women could rise to incredible heights of influence. Far from a simple fantasy, it was a dynamic world where women held real, tangible power behind the throne. Thanks for watching. Powerful person and be sure to Empire's harem. It wasn't the Sultan's favorite concubine, but his mother, the Valide Sultan. This title gave her incredible influence. She wasn't just managing the palace, she was a major political player. The Valide Sultan could sway the Sultan's decisions on appointing top ministers, controlling the empire's vast resources, and even directing foreign policy. In times when a young or inexperienced sultan took the throne, his mother often became the de facto ruler, steering the ship of state from behind the scenes. Think of KösemSultan, a legendary Valide Sultan who navigated the empire through multiple reigns. She made critical decisions that held the empire together during times of crisis, proving that in the Game of Thrones, the Queen Mother was often the most powerful piece on the board. Think the Ottoman harem was just a collection of beautiful women. Think again. It was a powerhouse of influence, and some of the most remarkable women in history emerged from its walls. Take HürremSultan, for example. Captured in war and brought to the palace as a slave, she didn't just survive. Through her sheer intelligence and charm, she captured the heart of Sultan Suleiman, the Magnificent. She shattered tradition by becoming his legal wife, an unprecedented move that shook the empire. But she didn't stop there. Hürrem became a key political advisor, managed state affairs, and funded massive public works like hospitals and schools. Her story proves that the harem was a place where women with talent and ambition could rise to the very top. It was a center of power, strategy, and incredible female influence. Thanks for watching. What life was really like. Don't forget to subscribe to Ottoman Harem. Forget the myths of pure luxury. This was a place of immense discipline and education. The women here were trained to be masters of their world. They learned multiple languages, studied literature and poetry, and perfected the art of court etiquette. But it wasn't just about refinement, it was about power. Rivalries, strategic alliances, and personal ambitions within the harem walls could literally shape the fate of an empire. This era, from the 16th to the 17th centuries, is so significant that historians call it the Sultanate of Women. It was a time when these intelligent and influential women wielded extraordinary political power, proving the harem was far more than a gilded cage. What you found this fascinating when you hear the word harem? For centuries, Western travelers painted a picture of a mysterious world filled with luxury, pleasure, and endless intrigue. But what if I told you that's only a tiny, distorted piece of the story? The reality of the Ottoman harem was far more complex and powerful. This wasn't just a collection of beautiful women. It was a sophisticated political and educational institution. The true heart of the empire's administration. Behind its guarded walls, women weren't just lounging around. They were being trained in statecraft, diplomacy, and the arts. They managed vast estates, corresponded with foreign leaders, and wielded immense influence over the sultan. The harem was fantasy. It was a center of power that helped run one of the largest empires in history. Ever wondered about the real power behind the Ottoman throne? It wasn't always the sultan, deep within the Topkapi Palace. The Imperial Harem was more than just a secluded residence. It was a political powerhouse that shaped an entire empire. The harem was the heart of Ottoman governance, influencing everything from who would be the next sultan to major decisions in foreign policy. The women here were not just consorts. They were strategists, patrons of the arts, and queen mothers who wielded incredible authority. Think of figures like HürremSultan, who went from a concubine to the sultan's legal wife, or KösemSultan, who ruled as a regent for her sons and grandsons. Their stories are a powerful reminder that history is full of influential women. They prove that behind the grand titles and towering thrones, it was often the women of the harem who truly directed the course of an empire. Thanks for watching Harem, and don't forget what comes to mind. Probably images of luxury, secrecy, and maybe even a bit of scandal, right? But what if I told you the real story is far more fascinating and powerful? The harem wasn't just a gilded cage. It was the political heart of the Ottoman Empire. A place where women weren't just residents, they were rulers in their own right. These women were highly educated, brilliant strategists, and influential advisors. They managed vast estates, negotiated with foreign ambassadors, and even governed the empire as regents, from the legendary Roxolana to the powerful KösemSultan. They shaped dynasties and altered the course of history from behind the palace walls. The harem teaches us a powerful lesson. Influence isn't always loud. Sometimes, the most world-changing power operates in the quietest rooms. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more hidden histories.